I know it's been a while since I did a video like this, but I hate the versus battle wiki. Hate it. I think it's one of the worst things that's happened to power scaling. I think it's one of the worst things that's happened to media analysis. I think it's one of the worst things that's happened to fandom discourse. And I even think it's one of the worst things that happened to science discourse. Maybe not one of the worst things that happened to science discourse. I mean, like, flat earth and stuff is much worse. But I'll still have people come onto my science videos, or other science educators' science videos, ones that aren't talking about science as it applies to fiction, and try to cite the Versus Battle wiki as if it's some sort of textbook. The Versus Battle wiki is like the Dunning-Kruger effect in a wiki. Like, it has people talking about multiple infinities or degrees of infinity without knowing even a single thing about set theory, and acting like a bigger infinity just means number bigger can punch other guy harder, which it doesn't. It has people doing incredibly wrong physics calculations, citing principles of relativity incorrectly, completely misunderstanding basic geometry. Like, the amount of stuff on that wiki that is just wrong, either wrong scientifically or just wrongly cited from pieces of media, is staggering. Now, here's the thing. When you're doing power scaling, or when you're talking about a comic or anime or something like that, you could talk about it however you want. I don't care. There is no one correct objective answer. Because it's a fictional world, we're just talking about different interpretations of fiction, There can't be a correct answer. So if people want to use the Versus Battle wiki rules, that's fine for them. But my biggest problem is that those people will come into other spaces and cite the Versus Battle wiki again as if it's a textbook. They'll act like everyone else is stupid because they're not using the Versus Battle wiki's rules, which is just super condescending and pretentious. And in my experience, the Versus Battle wiki has bred a whole fandom of people which act like they know a whole bunch about certain scientific principles, and they just don't know how much they don't know. For that matter, it's created a whole bunch of people who don't even double-check their sources when they cite something. And I mean, like, cite an example from a comic or an anime or whatever. A bunch of people who don't know how to research to back up their own arguments. So yeah, long story short, I'm sorry, but I hate the Versus Battle wiki. It's not a good resource. And as soon as someone cites the Versus Battle wiki in any sort of discussion, I know the discussion is over. Because they're not critically thinking about whatever we're discussing. They're just pointing to a wiki and trying to say, haha, my argument's better than yours. And I personally am not interested in that.